Hey, what's going on YouTube? Today I want to talk about a very interesting leadership motto, like a leadership saying that I heard the other day on the We Hold These Truths podcast with Congressman Dan Crenshaw, who was speaking to Jocko Willink. I think leadership mottos are really interesting because you can use them to great effect to impress people, but I think in a lot of cases we don't really think about the true insight into leadership that those sayings contain. I think they're also very powerful because it can be like a mantra that you repeat to yourself to remember to do something or remember to model some leadership behavior that maybe is a weakness for you or something that you want to work on. I'm not going to tell you what the leadership mantra was yet. So before I do that, what I'd like for you to do is think about a leadership motto or a leadership mantra that either you really like or that you've heard and you were impressed by someone that said it, and put that in the comments. I will pick a number of those or any of the ones that I'm interested in and do another video like this where I take a deep dive into a leadership mantra or motto and kind of break down like what's the core insight into leadership that we can gain from that saying or that motto or that mantra. Okay, the one that Jocko Willink threw out there was faster alone, further together, which I think is awesome. As soon as I heard him say that, I stopped. I was working out. I stopped the podcast, and I actually put a note in my iPhone to think about that later. I think part of the reason why that's such a powerful mantra or motto for leadership is that for new leaders especially, and I fell trapped to this, your skill set has been developed over time up until this point to be really good at that thing that you're doing. And you're doing that thing so well in your organization that now they're putting you in charge of other people that are doing that same thing. And so your first instinct as a leader is going to be to go and do all of that work yourself, or to try to do as much of it yourself as you can because you know that you can do good work. But becoming a leader is about relinquishing that and getting the group to do the work and pointing them in the right direction for success. And so faster alone, further together is, I think, a really powerful thing to think about when you first become a leader, because one of the big struggles that you'll have when you first start out is learning how to delegate and to get people trained up and ready to go so that they can actually do the work, and then you're just directing traffic. But I think that this leadership motto is a great reminder, even for more seasoned leaders. Faster alone, further together. If you can achieve a task by yourself very quickly, you're going to be tempted to just go and do it yourself. But if you're training your team to be able to do that same task at the same standard that you set for yourself, then you're going to be able to do a lot more work for a lot longer. And that's the real, I think, insight into this, is that the short-term gains, right? That quick, decisive step that you take to go and generate that piece of work is a real temptation. But if you can get your entire team trained up so that they can all do that to the same level and the same degree of effectiveness that you do, then you're going to go way further. Your team's going to produce a lot more, and it's going to be a lot more effective. It's going to outcompete other entities that are trying to do the same thing that your business is doing. Leadership mottos are great because you can really impress people and make them believe that you're an amazing, wise leader, even if perhaps you don't have any leadership experience or know anything about leadership. I had one of the most important interviews of my life many years ago. I spent about 2 weeks preparing for this interview. I did mock interviews with people. I wrote out all of the questions for what I thought the interviewers might ask me. And I also called my roommate from college, who was currently serving as an officer in the Marine Corps, and I just needed something to grab onto about leadership because I'd never really had a leadership position before. I think I had like one direct report in my current role, and I was going to have 13 direct reports. And so I knew that this was an aspect of my candidacy that was a little bit weak because I didn't have any real leadership experience. And so I asked my friend, "What's your philosophy on leadership?" And he said, "Mission first, people always. And in the interview, they asked me, what's your philosophy on leadership? And I said, I just repeated that leadership motto that my old roommate from college had told me. Mission first, people always. And they actually wrote it. The interviewers wrote it down. They said, oh, that's great. I love that. And so I didn't really know much about leadership, but I said that. It sounded awesome. And I did get the job.